everyone, and welcome to the Willy Wonka Fibers podcast. Today is Wednesday, November 30th, 2016. This is a podcast about my indie dye and indie design business, as well as my knitting, my spinning, and some other crafty things. You can find me on the web at www.woolywonkafiber.com. I have a Instagram and a Facebook account as Willy Wonka Fibers, and you can also find my Ravelry group under Willy Wonka Fibers. There was just a heavy sigh. I don't know if y'all heard that from our dog Lizzie. She's, life is tough for her. She's having to have a nap inside instead of being out running around like a crazy woman because it was cold here this morning. It was down in the teens, and we had a little bit of snow on Tuesday. Nothing that stuck around, just really light dusting, enough that you had to scrape your car. But it is definitely feeling like winter here. Here in the U.S., we had Thanksgiving last Thursday, and my folks were here. They left Monday. We had a really good visit with them. It's always great to see them, and it's kind of a trek to come from the East Coast out here to the Southwest. So I appreciate that they make that effort. My mom and dad got home on Tuesday afternoon and then had a call from the assisted living facility where my dad's older brother is. He's got some chronic health problems and is on dialysis, and I guess fell after his dialysis treatment this week. So he has a broken hip, so my parents are like home for a day, and then they've got to go up to where he lives and deal with the hospital stay and then getting him into rehab, and I don't envy them any of that. Kind of a whirlwind. So this week I decided I'd better sneak in a little podcast because I don't think I'll get to it this weekend. My husband's mom is going to be here for kind of a long weekend, and we've just got a ton of stuff going on. So that said, I thought I should get a podcast in and get you guys up to speed on a few things. It doesn't look like I will be doing a recording on this upcoming Monday, which would be December 5th. And I think what is going to happen in the month of December is it's going to be a little bit hit or miss. I'm not going to be on any kind of sort of weekly normal schedule for this month. There's just so much going on, and with all of our house guests and everything else, I think it'd be easier not to commit to say I'm going to podcast every Monday, because I just don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So that said, I still plan to talk to you guys at least 2, maybe 3 more times before the end of the year. Check in. I've got a bunch of upcoming new things to share with you guys, so want to make sure I do that before the new year clicks in. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I have a new FO to share with you guys, and it's also a new pattern release. This is part of the greater sort of club or knit-along set, if you will, of patterns that I'm doing for Dennis and Jeffrey at the Yarn Guys. This particular focus tree, we're doing all of the trees in the ancient rune Oham alphabet. This particular tree is the holly tree, which I thought was perfect for this time of year since it's an evergreen, and one of my favorite carols, Christmas carols, is the holly and the ivy. So here is the cowl. It is a colorwork project, which you can see. It's done in 3 colors. And so the top border is this just very straightforward little holly leaf border in the red and green. And then the center panel is kind of a bigger stylized version of it. There are 3 of this, get this even. There we go. Of this kind of stylized motif around the circumference, and then another holly border, and it's just finished off with some basic seed stitch. This pattern has been released to Ravelry. It released yesterday, the 30th, so it is fair game for downloads. And both my shop and the Yarn Guys shop have the yarn kit available for this. That comes with as the yarn that you need to knit this as is. And you certainly could make it a longer wrappable cowl if you wanted to. You just would need to double the number of stitches in the circumference, and then you'd need 2 of the yarn packs. That's what I'm trying to say to get it done. So this is on my Aran Road sock base. I think you can see it's got just a little bit of glitz, little sparkle going on in there. And so the kit comes with a set of 4 minis, 4 mini skeins, and it's 2 of the main color, which is the dark green, and 1 of the red, and then 1 of this kind of bronzy gold / green. It is presented in chart form, so it is helpful if you know how to read a chart, but it's not a super tough project, and if you are looking for a quick Christmas gift, I think this would be great. Or if you didn't want to knit it yourself, but you know someone who loves to do color work, the little kit would make a great stocking stuffer too. It's packaged in a cute little bag, and all of the mini skeins are individually labeled, and you could do that and gift somebody the pattern and check that off your holiday shopping list. So that is good to go. I think I had mentioned the club. It's not really a club, it's the knit along that the Yarn Guys are doing, and so I will have a pattern and matching yarn for them once every quarter. So this was the December 2016 one, and the next one will be out the 1st of March 2017. And they're all tree themed. So anyway, that's kind of fun. That one, like I said, would be a great holiday project either for yourself or for someone else. And it is currently up in the shop. I am drinking one of my favorite all-time teas today. I like Earl Grey just in general. But this summer I was gifted, and I think Jenny Tiny Dancer Knits, it might have been you, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Anywho, I got a package of Earl Grey tea, loose tea mixed with lavender buds. It is so good. It's got just that little floral touch of the lavender without being sort of overwhelming, and mixed in with the normal Earl Grey flavor. It's just really good. I think I have 1 cup left in the bag, so I'm sort of hoarding it and pacing myself with it because I don't want to run out, but it's inevitable. You make the tea, it goes away. Okay, other things I'm working on. Knitting. I have a bunch of secret knitting on the needles right now. 2 of which are for the March Filament magazine. I have 1 sweater. I have cast that on. I'm working on it. It's top down, so I've just got maybe the first 2 inches finished. Nothing to write home about. But it is a colorwork sweater, so it does have a little bit more detail to it than just straight knitting. So that's not something I usually work on like in the evenings in front of the TV while I'm talking to my husband. So that's in progress. I'm working on a pair of mitts and a cowl, a set out of this gorgeous yarn, which I have from Harrisville Designs. It is their silk wool blend. Here is the tag. There you go. It's 175 yards per 50 grams. And I think they have it listed technically as a DK, but it really knits up more like a heavy fingering to sport weight for me. The colorway of this is Dusty Pink. It's a little bit darker in real life, but that's not too bad. So I have those on the needles. I have the first knit started, it's a pretty quick knit, and so that's what I've been working on in the evenings, because it's not a particularly hard pattern. It's something I can pick up and put down pretty easily. So I'm working on those, and then I'm also working on a cabled sport weight vest. That's for another spring release. So lots of like behind the scenes knitting going on. I did, however, finish up the first of my patriotic striped socks that are going as a gift. I need to finish darning in ends on the back, but on the inside, but you obviously guys can get the gist of it. The yarn is a self-striping yarn from Desert Vista Dye Works on their Viso base, which is the 75% 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. 2x2 rib at the cuff, 64 stitches. I popped in a Fish Lips Kiss heel in this contrast color that has the navy blue with the little sort of random dots for stars, and then just a rounded toe. So I have the second one to put on the needles. I feel like I could probably get that finished this week. That is my goal. Because again, I'd like to get the Christmas box shipped fairly zippily. Kind of get that off my plate, get it out of the list of things I need to do. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I was working on a pair of socks for my mom, and I have the first one finished, and I set it aside, and she did try those on while she was here, and it fits her perfectly, so I can knit the second one. But realistically, I'm probably not going to have that finished by Christmas. The good news is that while we were here, so as a sidebar here, my folks recently moved up to the Baltimore area, and they found a church that they are very involved with and has a really great, what sounds like a really great ministry to the community. And one of the things that they do, they sponsor some homeless families through their homeless dinner program. They do food a couple times a week for a shelter. And while a lot of the folks in the shelter are single men, they do have some families, either single moms with a couple of kids or even intact families, but just people who don't have a ton of income or a place to live. And so what they do is they sponsor a Christmas gift table as well as some giveaways. So one of the things that they look for are some donations for the folks who are part of a small family to come in, and they can purchase a gift. I think the maximum amount that anything costs is $5. And so somebody could come in and purchase a gift for their mom, or they could purchase a gift for someone else in the family. Very reasonably priced, but nice stuff because a lot of it is handmade. So where I'm going with this is, while my mom was here, she and I went through, I have a bin of finished samples. There's a lot of shawls in there, and I had a ton of socks as well. And so she went through and she picked several things out of the bin. She took, I think, almost half of the socks I had. I sent her home with, I think it was 10 pairs. And those are actually a giveaway. They just give those as gifts at the shelter to the homeless. So, hey, there's 10 people with slightly warmer feet. I'm all good with that. So she also took a couple of the shawls with her that could be donations on the gift table. So folks could pick and choose one of those if they wanted to as a gift. But when we were going through the bin, she found one of my shawl samples that she loved. And my mom, being my mom, was totally unsubtle and said, "Oh, you could just give me this for Christmas." Okay. Okay. Since I probably won't have your socks done. Okay. So I have a red shawl that is ready to go to her. It will be wrapped. It will be gifted. Of course, she knows what it is since she picked it out, but that's okay. It's something that she really liked, and she felt like she was going to get a lot of use out of it. I am happy to have that go to her. So I will get those gray charcoal gray socks knit up for her at some point, probably not too far after the new year, and send them on to her just as a gift. But I will take that off my Christmas gift knitting list, which will be a really good thing. So anyway, that is where I am in terms of knitting. I hope you guys followed that rambling tangential story, but anyway, that's where I am for knitting. Spinning. I have less than an ounce left of singles to spin on the Superwash Merino 2F by hand roving that I was working on last week. As I thought, I got no spinning time whatsoever most of last week and over the weekend. So I'm behind again on that. It's okay. It is what it is. Going to try to finish up the singles before my mother-in-law gets here in the hopes that then I could ply it early next week and have that yarn finished and move on to one of the final 2 braids in my CTA spin the bin box. Hoping. And next time I talk to you guys, I'll probably have a little bit more codified list of spinning plans for next year. Again, the Woolly Wonka Fibers Ravelry group, I am hosting a spin from your stash along for all of 2017. I hope that if you are a spinner and you have any stash at all that you'd like to get spun up next year, that you go ahead and join us. It's very casual, nothing crazy, just spin from your stash. All the complete rules, such as they are over in the group, and I will link to that in the show notes so you can find it if you are so interested. I think that's it for spinning. Let's talk about my last little bit of craftiness. I have started a new sort of seasonal cross-stitch project. Trying to get the pattern out of my bag here. I should probably give a little shout out to Erin Lane Bags. This bag is so not me. This is not me, but yet I had to have this. I walked past Bethany's booth at, I think it was Yarn Fest 3 years ago, and I saw this hanging up, and I don't know, I loved it. It is one of her bigger project bags. You can see it sits up nicely. It's more almost like a little container than it is a bag. It's lined, it's got a little pocket on the inside, and it's got a hanger so you can put a small notions bag through that loop if you need or want to. But I'm finding I kind of use it for my cross stitch more than anything else, so it now has a life doing that. So this is the new piece that I have started. It's by a company called With Thy Needle and Thread. There is one of these for every month of the year. Obviously this is January. And they are fairly straightforward, mostly quick stitches because they're words. There's not a lot of super in-depth detail. I am doing this up on a hand-dyed fabric, hand-dyed linen, and using hand-dyed threads for it as well. And here's where I am. I don't know if, oops, I knocked stuff off my desk. Sorry, guys. I think just barely you can see the snowflakes between the January and the sled and the cold. So I'm not putting in a ton of time on this. I just grab, half an hour-ish when I can. But like I said, it's a quick stitch, and I'm really enjoying it. I think the fabric that I have is big enough that I could do 2 on here. I'm not sure that I would do February on here, but I like this color for maybe November of the group of charts. And I was thinking I might make them into just little small pillows. This is basically the bottom of the project, so it's only this big. It is longer this way than it is this way. But you know, I don't really have a goal or anything for this. Like I said, I'm just kind of picking it up when I have a few minutes and maybe doing one of the words on it. Um, but they're fun. They're entertaining. They're quick. They're kind of like little mini snacks. Just something when I have a spare hour or half hour here or there to work on. So I think that is it for this week. Like I said, I don't think you should plan on hearing from me Monday the 5th, but maybe sometime later that week I can then squeeze in another podcast for you guys, kind of get you back up to speed. We are here for the Christmas holidays, so my husband and I are looking forward to a little quiet time and just, you know, puttering and doing some stuff around the house. I'm still digging out from under some huge wholesale orders, but that's all good. Just working away at it. So until I talk to you guys again, I hope you have a wonderful week or two, and go craft yourself something wonderful. Take care.